My mother looked at my 13-year-old daughter on my sister's birthday porch and said, "She's too ugly to attend." But when my little girl tried to cover her own face that night, I made one quiet move that turned their cruel family secret into something they couldn't control. My mother looked my 13-year-old daughter in the face and told her she was too ugly to come inside. Not quietly, not privately, at the front door, with people watching. I heard the music before we even knocked. Pop songs and voices and someone shrieking with laughter inside. The porch light was on. A balloon arch was tied to the railing. We had a gift bag. Emma had picked the ribbon herself, fussed over it in the car, smoothed it 3 times before we walked up the steps. My sister Heather opened the door. She looked at Emma first, then at me. She did not move. "It's getting late," she said. "We're kind of already into it." I said, "We're 10 minutes late." She glanced over her shoulder at the hallway full of girls in party dresses, then back at us. "Paige wants a certain atmosphere tonight." That word, atmosphere. Like my daughter was bad weather. Emma has vitiligo, pale patches across her cheek and around one eye. Her doctor said healthy. Her doctor said no treatment needed. Emma said fine, and went back to drawing horses at the kitchen table, because at 9 years old she did not understand yet that some adults would decide her face was a problem they needed to solve. She understood now. She was standing so still beside me it scared me. I pushed the door wider and said, "Move, Heather." Heather didn't move. Then my mother appeared. Janet in full lipstick, store-perfect hair. The expression she wore when she wanted everyone to remember she was in charge. She looked past me, straight at Emma, up and down, slowly. The way she examined merchandise she was deciding whether to return. "This is exactly what I warned you about," she said. I said, "Warned me about what?" She had every chance to make herself presentable. Behind Janet, 3 women stood near the kitchen doorway. 2 girls from Emma's school sat frozen on the stairs. A man I didn't recognize stopped chewing. Nobody said a word. Janet stepped forward. "Foundation would have taken 10 minutes. We discussed this." She refused. "I am not going to pretend that decision has no consequences." Emma's hand found my sleeve. Her fingers were shaking. I said, "She is 13 years old at her cousin's birthday party." My mother tilted her head like I was being deliberately stupid. "There are photos tonight. These are Paige's school friends. This is not the moment for—" She paused. "A distraction." Somebody on the stairs made a small, ugly sound. I looked up. My niece Paige stood 3 steps from the top with her arms crossed, wearing a pink dress, watching us the way kids watch something gross on the side of the road. "Are they seriously still there?" she said. Not to anyone, just out loud, into the room. Heather exhaled like she was relieved someone had finally said it. My father Ronald appeared at the end of the hallway with a paper cup in his hand. He looked at me. He looked at Emma. He looked back down at his cup. My mother turned slightly toward the room, making sure she had an audience, and said it. "If she insists on looking like that, then it's her own fault she's too ugly to attend." Complete silence. Then Heather nodded. One small, confirming nod, like my mother had just stated something reasonable, and every adult in that hallway let it stand. Emma stopped shaking. She went very still in a way that was worse than shaking. I took the gift bag out of her hand before anyone could tell us to leave it at the door. "You don't get this," I said. "You don't get her. You get this memory." Janet rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic, Erica." We walked back down the porch steps while the music kept playing inside like nothing had happened at all. In the car, Emma stared out the window and didn't speak. I drove with both hands on the wheel and said nothing either. I needed to think. I needed to be precise, because here is what my mother didn't know. One of those women standing near the kitchen doorway was married to the man who owned the building where my mother's boutique had operated for 11 years. Her lease was up in 60 days, and I already had his number in my phone. I waited until Emma was asleep. I cried. Then my phone lit up. The number on the screen made my stomach drop. Full story on channel. Link below.